I think also whenever you do have such a plan for the day, when things start going awry and like your plan goes to the wayside, you're more, I'll speak for myself, I'm more frustrated because I'm like, well, I was going to do this, this, and this. Like I had this plan, but then all this craziness happened. And so, yeah, it's like still that like trying to grasp for control of it. And sometimes you just got to give in and into the moment. But yeah, I do agree. Like I don't want to live in a world where there are no plans ever. But there is such beauty in just like, well, let's just see what happens today. Nothing on the agenda.
Greetings from Confetti Land, home of the Confetti Bar. I'm Jessica, founder and confetti artist.
And I'm Alexis, head of happiness. Join us here in this magical, colorful place where we
have fun,
feel feelings,
and encourage you to embrace your unique version of happiness and all of its beautiful, messy pieces.
We are so excited to have you join us.
Okay, Alexis.
Okay, Jessica.
I think with the theme of season 3 here, all about that confetti vibe. We talk a lot about confetti metaphors and a lot about what confetti means. I think something we haven't really addressed specifically before is all of the lessons that confetti can teach us. And having done this for more than a decade, I can say that confetti has certainly taught me quite a bit. And I think we should share just a few of those lessons with our confetti people here today.
Let's share some confetti lessons. It's like life lessons, but sparkly.
Yes. The best kind of lessons are confetti lessons.
The very best.
All right, so I think what we'll do, maybe we'll share 6 of them. I think that feels like a good number.
Yeah, 3 each. I like that.
Well, let's just dive right in. We won't waste time. Confetti lesson number 1. Celebrate what's overlooked. And I think this is something where a lot of people, not mistakenly so, but a lot of people think of confetti as like kind of just a decoration, as something that you kind of, clean up and throw away at the end of a celebration, yet it is also such a big part of many celebrations. And so I think that we should, intentionally look for those things that maybe seem small or unimportant, but actually are kind of the essence of what life is all about. And as we say all the time, confetti is not just for good things or big things. It is for all things, including those little moments that often do get overlooked. So whether it's a chat with a neighbor, maybe it's just a quiet little moment of solitude, or maybe you have like a hidden talent or something that you want to celebrate. But any of those things that maybe you take for granted a little bit, or you just aren't really thinking about in great detail all the time, I think we should start by noticing them and then start celebrating them.
I completely agree with you. I have a friend, and we were talking over the summer, and it came out that she does not love holidays. And I said, what?
You're like, wait.
Tell me more. And why are we friends? Just kidding. And she was like, I just feel like we should be celebrating every day. Like, we shouldn't have to have all this big hoopla we shouldn't be told to celebrate, essentially. Like, we should just be doing it. I think I'm doing it just as what she's trying to say. Maybe you get it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It really got me thinking, like, okay, you're right. And I mean, you and I definitely, like, we do talk about this of like, celebrate the little things, celebrate what may seem mundane. But like, talking about it and putting it into practice are 2 different things.
Yep.
And I always need the reminder to celebrate all the things. So I like this confetti
and I love
lesson
that
a lot.
Yeah, and I actually kind of agree. Like, I do enjoy the holidays, but I think I enjoy like the spirit around them more than the like day itself, because there is like so much pressure that gets built up around it. And I don't know if we talked about this on our birthday episode, but like, since my birthday was not long ago, I actually get like sad on my birthday, I've noticed. And I think it is because it's like just all this like pressure builds up, and it's like, I don't know, it just feels like it's supposed to be like such a big moment. It's like, what are you going to do? How are you going to celebrate? It's something that's like, it's too much pressure for one day. So I totally get that, and I respect that. And I agree that it's not just all about the big things, and we need to be celebrating all of the things in between, even if they aren't necessarily happy or good or something really, really big.
Yeah, because I feel like they're like the more unexpected moments. Like, whereas, like you said, pressure, I feel like I have not necessarily used that word. I've used like anticipation. Like, I usually love the anticipation of something more than the actual thing. Like, even with planning parties and like hosting, I love like shopping for this stuff and blah, 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 blah. And like seeing it come together. And I mean, it's not that I don't not enjoy what I'm doing or who I'm with, but it really is like the anticipation for me. And so like, how do you take off some of that pressure and like just celebrate and enjoy? And I think I've been trying to incorporate that more with like, if I have fun holiday napkins for something, I'm not going to wait to use them. I'm just going to pull them out. I'll throw it in my little lunch bag. I won't wait to have a party or something for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Like, how do we stretch out that feeling of like anticipation and celebration like much longer? And I think it is part of it is not like putting so much pressure on like one moment or one day, and it is. And I think that's why, again, I at least personally enjoy like the season of a holiday a little bit more, because it's you get to enjoy it more and kind of really savor the different moments and aspects of it without it like just being distilled down into one day or one moment. So yeah, celebrate what's overlooked. Confetti lesson number 1.
Confetti lesson number 2. Embrace the art of transformation. So we know that confetti is made from cut up paper, metallic bits, sequins. When Jessica's making it, it's got a lot of fun.
Got all
bits and things. It's got all the things.
All the things.
It can speak to how our own struggles and changes can reshape us into something new, urging us to accept transformation as part of our journey. That is deep. That is some good stuff.
It is. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like when you really break it down, even though there are many different kinds of confetti, at its core, it's cut up paper, right? So it's something that was once one thing and now gets transformed into confetti. And I do think that that's like a life lesson where we're constantly growing and transforming and adapting, and rather than see that as a bad thing or a scary thing or something else not so positive, we should embrace it. And it might be challenging and all of those other things, but ultimately it'll turn into something else that's beautiful and magical and fun and colorful and joyful.
Yes. I think of so many things that you have made from confetti. You have made physical confetti, but then you've made it into other things and art, and even just that is transforming it. And like sometimes it's like fixed onto something, sometimes there's loose pieces. And so I think that also speaks to like maybe some things that are more permanent in our lives and that are more temporary, but it's all reshaping and transforming us. And yeah, definitely confetti reminds me that things are changing and there's growth and there's all the things.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the goal for me is like using confetti in as many different ways, because that is the point. Like, the idea is to use it as a symbol for celebration and joy and hope and all of the other things that we talk about. But by using it in different ways and transforming it, it's like that perpetual reminder, and it doesn't just have to be used for one thing, and to kind of using it in different ways to show that it is adaptable and it can be used for so many different things, and you can choose to celebrate so many different things, and including your own transformation and sort of wherever you are in your life. So yeah, all the confetti changing all the time, being used in so many different ways. It's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think one of my most like meta ways I've ever used confetti was taking scraps of paper, turning it into confetti, then using that confetti to make handmade paper that also has confetti embedded in it.
Yes. The ultimate, like, full circle moment.
It's been transformed and then turned back into its original source, but different. So,
and cooler.
I'm sure there's another. Yeah, I think there's another metaphor in there somewhere, but we'll let the people figure that one out.
Mm-hmm. Chew on that one.
Okay. So confetti lesson number 3. Find grace in being scattered. So I think this is a little bit of a take on our kind of embrace beautiful messes, but in a little bit of a different way. But when you really think about it, you know, confetti like is scattered usually, right? Whether you toss it up or put it on a table, like the whole point when you're decorating with it is to scatter it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually kind of random, you know, you can't like fully control it. And I think this really mirrors life, and life is not predictable, and you can't, you know, control everything, and you kind of have to embrace the mess at a certain point, and you have to embrace being maybe a little more scattered. But there is kind of beauty in that, what seems like chaos, you know, there is still beauty there, and that's something we obviously talk about a lot. And it's like, you know, we don't always need everything to align perfectly and to be put in a neat little box and to be, you know, kind of whatever we think perfection is for it to be meaningful. And I think that's probably my favorite lesson that confetti can teach us.
That's a really good one. It reminds me of whenever we got to experience the confetti project, and definitely there was some kind of metaphors and things that we talked about there. But also, like, I feel like we just got to be fully immersed in that because, like, we weren't the ones, like, putting on the event. Like, we just got to see the, like, just such beauty in the scattering of the confetti, and even just, like, getting to talk with people who were there and were, like, sprinkled around in different places. But, yeah, really just kind of getting to embrace that and let loose and free up any kind of control that we had. Like, we just got to let loose. It was a good time.
Yeah, and obviously we talk about this a lot, and especially we talked about it in episode 1 this season, but that idea of like trying to hold on to control so tightly usually does not benefit us too well. And with confetti, you are forced to release that control. And I think this is, you know, more than just letting go of control, but it's actively embracing the fact that, you know, it might not be perfect and it might be messy and you might feel a little scattered, but that's kind of the point, is it's not meant to be this kind of perfect, neat, tidy, orderly life. You know, we're supposed to kind of get lost along the way and, you know, feel a little bit all over the place and all of those things.
Yeah. I saw a reel today, and this mom, like, had gotten her family all ready to go to this trunk or treat that they go to every single year. She got the date mixed up. But instead of, like, them just, like, getting frustrated about it and, like, calling it a day, going home, they just straight up went to a basketball game in their costumes. Like, it just was so much fun to me. And it was just, like, such a good reminder of, like, okay, like, she could have been like, oh my gosh, and just, like, beating herself up over it. But instead they embraced it and they had the best time. And like, what a fun memory that they get to have because they chose to embrace the chaos and just roll with it.
I love that. No, it's such a good reminder. And it actually makes me think, I don't know that I have an example quite that explicit, but, you know, I feel like the days that we don't actually plan something and we end up just like randomly taking a drive and just like seeing where the day takes us and not being so overly concerned about like, we have to have lunch at this time. And, you know, it's just like we go with the flow. Like those are always the days that like just feel the best. And I don't know why, for some reason, I'm still someone who like likes to plan and, you know, all of that. But I know logically that the days I don't plan often do feel better. I think there is a balance though, because I do think if my life was like complete chaos all the time, that would be difficult. Yes. But there's a time and a place, and appreciating it, I think is the key. It doesn't have to be all the time, but when it happens, you need to embrace it.
I totally agree, because like I think also whenever you do have such a plan for the day, when things start going awry and like your plan goes to the wayside, you're more, I'll speak for myself, I'm more frustrated because I'm like, well, I was going to do this, this, and this. Like I had this plan, but then all this craziness happened. And so, yeah, it's like still that like trying to grasp for control of it. And sometimes you just got to give in into the moment. But yeah, I do agree. Like I don't want to live in a world where there are no plans ever. But there is such beauty in just like, well, let's just see what happens today. Nothing on the agenda.
There's a balance. There's a balance to be had.
All right, speaking of balance, confetti lesson number 4 is to stay playful. I feel like I can become so serious and so wrapped up in what other people think about me and become like work oriented that sometimes I forget to stay playful. But let me tell you, it feels so good to be just fancy free. I was in one of my friend's weddings yesterday, and I have loosened up over the years on the dance floor. But I'm usually, like, truly just, like, so concerned. Like, what are people going to think about me? I'm, like, usually, like, I need a choreographed dance kind of vibes. But I had the literal time of my life yesterday. I had not a care in the world. I said, whatever. I am just going to have so much fun. And you could not pull me away from the dance floor. So I am here to say that confetti definitely should remind you to stay playful, and just remember that life is a lot more fun when you're just up for having fun.
Well, as the confetti commandments say, have some flippin' fun. It's true though, we do forget to be playful. And I think part of it is, you know, we're supposed to be adults, I guess. But whoever made the rule that adults can't have fun, because I think we need to go and correct that back in time whenever that happened.
Yes.
But yeah, I do feel like ever since having Emmy Joy, like it is like more of a reminder for me, because she literally, like, all she wants to do is play. So it's kind of hard not to like be immersed in that. But I do have to catch myself where it's like, you know, I'm trying to do housework or cook or, you know, do something else. And like, she's like, I just want to play. And like, you know, Cliff and I will kind of get a little frustrated sometimes. We're like, we're trying to do this, but it's like, no, we should play. We should have fun. Like, yeah, let's go outside for a little bit and like kick the leaves around or whatever it is she wants to do. And, you know, she'll make up like a whole scenario about there's like a dragon and daddy's the dragon and has to like protect the egg and that she's going to come and try and steal it. And, you know, like there's a whole, you know, kind of imaginative play thing. And I find it hard to like access it sometimes. And I feel like, you know, I watch her and her imagination is like, oh my God. And then like, she'll ask me to play and I feel like frozen, like literally frozen. And like, I don't even know what to do right. Like, how do I? So yeah, I think it's something we have to like actively not only practice, but like be aware of and intentionally like find that playful, youthful energy that maybe we've kind of lost along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think playing with confetti is like one of those things that forces you to, like, how do you not be playful while throwing confetti? Like, it's very difficult.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, it's like there is a time and place for seriousness, but don't forget to not be too serious all the time or take yourself too seriously. One of the reasons why I have a pink scooter with streamers.
Yes.
And go for little joy rides. Gotta remember to stay
literal joy rides.
Literal.
I don't know, Alexis. From the outside looking in, it feels like you're killing it at the playful game.
Well, thank you. Not always, but we're working on it. That's why, I put confetti into place and scooter rides and dance parties so that it forces me in the best way ever.
Yep. Well, you got to keep the confetti around, people. It's the reminder. Even if it's decorative or in an art piece or just in a pretty jar on your desk, it's the reminder that we all need.
Yes. And I was trying to decide when I wanted to insert my new experiment that I haven't told you about yet. But this feels like a good time since you said keep it around.
Well, now I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued, Alexis. Lay it on me.
So, I think about confetti more than most people and usually have it on hand in some shape or form of the things that you just mentioned. But the other day I was talking to somebody and I said, you know what? I, for a week, am going to keep a little bit of loose confetti in my pocket and see if that changes anything.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, honestly, today has been really fun. I have just, randomly stuck my hand in my little pockets and been like, oh, I got this confetti. And it just reminds me, of all these lessons that we are talking about. So, it's day one of the experiment.
Ooh, day one. I love it. Please tell me you have a journal and you're recording what happens and how you feel, and I need all of the scientific data that goes along with this, please.
I'll do it. I will keep a notebook of all the things, and next time we chat, I'll let you know how it went. Plus, probably, the content creator in me is there also will be a reel of this too, so stay tuned, yes. People.
I cannot wait. Alexis, PhD in confetti.
Okay, wait, but can that actually be a thing?
It better be a thing. I feel like you need a lab coat and everything.
No, same. Same.
And just oh my god, you'll have to have a whole series of confetti experiments that you conduct.
Oh my gosh. Wait, yes.
Yes.
This is the first of many people.
Glasses. Yeah, you need a pair of glasses, you need a clipboard, and then we need a different confetti experiment every now and again.
Okay.
And yep, I see it now so clearly.
Okay, perfect. I'll work on my accessories, my experimental accessories.
She's a researcher now. Add it to your resume. Alexis, confetti researcher.
I think it's my program evaluation course is getting to me.
Well, listen, I'm here for it. And I won't spoil it for anyone, but I have a feeling this will tie in nicely to an episode we have coming later this season with a very special guest. So, stay tuned.
I do feel as though.
I'm just picturing you in a lab coat with a clipboard, going through and having confetti in cages and the little, aquarium style, scientific, and then beakers. You need beakers and stuff filled with confetti, and she's pouring a little bit into here and a little bit into there.
Okay, yes.
I can't focus on anything else now.
You have taken my little meager experiment silliness and you have made it into something better. I love this so much.
I love it so much. I now need all of the confetti experiments, and I think this now needs to be a new series. So
it's now a new series, and I hope
it's official. It's a new series.
Y'all might want to wait for my findings. I don't know, but like you can just hop in with me on this too, and just carry a little sprinkling of loose confetti in your pocket this week.
Yes, we need more data points, so everybody please contribute and report in your findings to Professor Alexis. Oh my god, I love it. Okay, I need to refocus my brain now because I'm too excited about all the confetti experiments, but let's see, where were we? Okay. Confetti lesson number 5. One we've already kind of talked about, but there is beauty in letting go. And I know we already talked about it, not only today, but we've talked about it in the past, but I think it's one that we just cannot get away from because it's so important.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think again, we use confetti for so many different things, and I use it in art and decorative ways and all of that kind of stuff. But I think arguably confetti is its most beautiful when we do actually release it into the air and physically let go of it and let it have its moment. And I think it's just so poetic to life and how sometimes it is. It's just the letting go is really where the beauty is. So yeah, I don't know that I have much more to add to it, but I think it's so important that we give it a shout out.
Yes, 1,000%. I was clearly stated, and that's that point. All right, confetti lesson number 6. Individually, we are special, but collectively, we are magic. I feel like Brick on the Middle. Have we talked about that show before?
No.
Okay. Well, there's this kid, and he'll say something, and then he'll whisper one of the words that he just said. So, anyways, yeah, it's better. Yeah, just trust me on that. Anyways, okay. So individually, confetti pieces maybe don't seem as exciting on their own, but together they create something visually striking. This shows us that even the smallest actions can collectively contribute to something bigger and meaningful, reminding us to recognize the importance of small efforts and gestures done collectively. So, when we see a burst of confetti, we don't focus on each individual piece. That would be impossible because ideally you're throwing lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we marvel at the whole spectacle of the thing. It makes me think of when the ball drops in Times Square and all the confetti's floating down. All you see is just this mass cloud of floating confetti, and it's just fluttering on down. And it reminds us that we are stronger and more impactful together than alone. Like confetti, when each of us contribute our unique piece, we create something far greater, forming a community or project that's vibrant, cohesive, and inspiring.
Not to mention colorful.
Not to mention colorful.
No, but it's true. Kind of, maybe it's a little cheesy, but I think it is true that, if you really break it down, you can look at each individual confetti piece and it has its own color and its own texture and shape and, its own little thing going on, which is great, and we can appreciate that. But it's really the collection of a bunch of those unique little pieces and different colors and all of the things together that really makes it something extra beautiful and extra magical. And I think it is very true when it comes to cultivating a confetti community, and we are kind of stronger together. And as long as you do surround yourself with the right kind of people and everyone's kind of contributing their own individuality, that's when the real magic does happen. So another big life lesson from confetti.
I mean, who knew that confetti had so much to teach us?
I did.
she said, but actually,
I did.
I knew that all along.
That's why we have a whole podcast episode about it.
Well, hopefully those who have joined us here at Confetti Land will now, hopefully their confetti horizons have been broadened. Because again, we are thinking about confetti all the time and the things that it teaches us. But I want other people to do the same.
Well, I hope it does get people thinking. And so I do pose it to you, everyone out there in Confetti Land. What are the lessons that confetti teaches you? And let us know. Email us. Send us a DM.
Post it.
Write us a letter.
Hashtag that confetti vibe.
Don't call me because I don't like to talk on the phone, but you can text me.
And she loves a good gift, so send that with it too.
I do. You can send a confetti carrier pigeon. Any of those methods will work, but we'd love to hear your confetti lessons, and then we'll share them with the rest of the community. So,
because we're all little bits of confetti making up a great mix, and we work better collectively than individually.
For more fun, join us on the socials at the Confetti Bar, and you can join the Confetti Club to receive free inspiration delivered to your inbox at theconfettibar.com/join.
Thanks for visiting!
Okay, Alexis. I know we talk about this sometimes. We're off to a great start.
That was my favorite thing. I know we talk about this sometimes.
Okay.
Jessica, I have a question for you. That was not a great start either. Gestures done collectively.
I was just gonna let you have your moment.
Oh no! I was like, do I just keep going? I can't.
I was gonna let you keep
derail this.
going.
Okay.
All right, pull the car around.
Pull the car around.
Okay, we're circling the block now. Come on, get it together.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The episode is going to be like 20 minutes, and it's just going to be like an extra 40 minutes saying different ways to end it.
Literally. Also, we should have told people in the beginning, pull out your notebooks and take some notes, because
class is in session.
Thank you. I literally could. I was trying to get to that exact moment, and I couldn't do it.
It should have been, let's see, pull out your gel pens and your trapper keepers and get ready to take some notes. Because
what's
confetti class is in. Are you kidding me right now? What is a trapper keeper?
What the hell is a trapper keeper?
Oh my goodness, this is when I forget how much younger you are than me. Oh goodness. Alexis. Dear Alexis.
I'm gonna order a Trapper Creep. I can't even say it.
Trapper Creeper.
A Trapper Creeper. A Trapper Keeper for my confetti experiments.
Trapper Creeper. This is like
it's like
Fluffynutter all over again.
Fluffynutter! Y'all, Jessica, if anybody ever listens to this, raw us. Jessica
Raw,
teaches me so many
version.
things. Unfiltered. She teaches me so many things. Her and Cliff. I never knew about a fluffernutter, and I definitely used to call it a fluffy nutter.
We, to this day, Cliff and I now have rebranded them to Fluffynutters anytime we talk about them because of you.
Oh, wow, I'm such an influencer.
You are. I love how you're like, oh, Jessica and Clifford teach me so much, and you're just like, oh, sentimental, about business, about life. No, we teach you about fluffernutters and trapper keepers. Those are the things that matter. Those are the life lessons you need. Forget about confetti lessons. These are the life lessons Alexis needs.
Until next time.
Goodbye. Finger gun.
Long farewell.
We need our own confetti farewell song. Confetti out!
Oh!